If you are running outdoor PVC conduit underground for a project this week, you can't just dig a shallow trench and throw the pipe inside. Sizing your burial depth round is the fastest way to get a fat deficiency list from your inspector. Under local OESC rules, standard residential lawns require a minimum of 450 millimeters of cover. But the second that trench passes under a driveway, that number jumps to 600 millimeters. Here is how we verify the depth to protect your wires. Stop guessing your grounding wire size and guessing your electrode depth. Look at this. When an uneducated helper dumps a loose zinc clamp straight onto a rusted pipe and calls it a day, they aren't just doing sloppy work. They are building a high-resistant earth path that completely fails to protect the structure from high-voltage line surges and lightning strikes today. We step inside the workshop design lab for a complete main grounding electrode masterclass. We pull back the cover to break down the exact sizing formula, conductor math and depth, configuration under strict Ontario Code Section 10 and NEC RT 250 parameters. Grab your code books, clear your workbenches, and let's go past code. First rule of service entry grounding. You must understand your local soil and environmental constraint. Under OESC Section 10, you have two primary choices for your manufactured electrode: driving a rod or using a ground plate. If you are driving ground rods, the law explicitly mandates a minimum of 2 rods driven, a minimum of 10 feet into the earth, spaced at least 2 meters apart. But if you hit solid bedrock 3 feet down, you have to pivot straight and approved grounding plate. A code compliant plate must be buried a minimum of 600 millimeters below ground level, sitting vertically in undisputed soil. Shoving a plate flat into loose soil is an automatic, immediate inspection failure before the inspector even pulls out their testing gear. Now let's step into the code book and track the exact Canadian code rules for grounding and bounding. Under rules 10-100, current overgrounding conductors, says see Appendix B. There shall be no objectionable passive of current over a grounding conductor. Rules 10-102, grounding electrodes, also says to see Appendix B. Grounding electrodes shall consist of A, manufactured grounding electrodes, B, field assembly grounding electrodes, or C, in situ grounding electrodes forming part of existing infrastructure. 2 10-102, number 2A. Manufactured grounding electrodes shall, in the case of a rod grounding electrode, consist of 2 rod electrodes, spaced not less than 3 meters apart, interconnected with a grounding conductor size as prescribed, grounding conductors, and driven to the full length of the rod. B. In the case of a chemical charged rod electrode, be installed to the full length of the rod, or in the case of a plate electrode, be in direct contact with exterior soil at not less than 600 millimeters below grade level, or in case within the bottom 50 millimeters of a concrete foundation footing in direct contact with the earth at not less than 600 millimeters below finished grade. 3. A field assembly grounding electrode shall consist of a bare copper conductor not less than 6 meters in length, size in accordance with table 43, and encased within the bottom 50 millimeters of a concrete foundation footing in direct contact with the earth at not less than 600 millimeters below finished grade. 3. A field assembly grounding electrode shall consist of a bare conductor not less than 6 meters in length, size in accordance with table 43, and encased within the bottom 50 millimeters of a concrete foundation footing in direct contact with the earth at not less than 600 millimeters below finished grade, or a bare conductor not less than 6 meters in length, size in accordance with table 43, and direct buried in earth at least 600 millimeters below finished grade. 4. For the purpose of Rule 2-024, an in-situ grounding electrode shall not be considered electrical equipment and shall provide at least 600 millimeters or more below finished grade a surface area exposure to earth equivalent to that of a similar manufactured grounding electrode, where a local condition such as rock or permafrost prevents a grounding electrode from being installed at the required buried depth. A lesser acceptable depth shall be permitted. Rules 10-104. Spacing and interconnected of grounding electrode tells you to see Appendix B. Where there are multiple grounding electrodes at a building, they shall be A. separated by at least 2 meters from each other, B. interconnected with a conductor, I. make of material prescribed for grounding conductors, 2. size as prescribed for grounding conductors, and 3. protected from mechanical damage as required. Protected from mechanical damage as required for grounding conductors, and C. in the case of lighting protection system interconnected in accordance with items B at or below ground level. Rules 10-114. Grounding conductor size. See Appendix B. 1. Except as permitted by Sub-Rule 2, the grounding conductor shall be sized not smaller than A number 6 or number 4 if of aluminum. The grounding 2. The grounding conductor shall be permitted to be sized smaller than prescribed in sub-rule 1, provided that it is not smaller than the current carrying conductor of the system being grounded. Rules 10-116. Installation of grounding conductors. See Appendix B. 1. The grounding conductor shall be electrically continuous throughout its length. 2. Where necessary, devices to control the effects of any stray earth current shall be permitted to be connected in series with the grounding conductors. 3. A grounding conductor shall be protected from damage, A, mechanically or by location. 4. Raceways or sleeves constructed of magnetic materials used to enclose grounding conductors shall be connected to the grounding conductor at both ends. 5. A grounding conductor installed in the same raceway with service conductors shall be insulated except that an uninsulated grounding conductor shall be permitted where the length of the raceway. If you look at the older code book, code edition, we used to have tables governing this, but under current OESC rules 10-210, the code book simplifies the math completely. For standard field assembly, electrodes like your ground rods or buried plates. The law explicitly states that your main grounding electrode conductor is never required to be larger than a number 6 copper wire or number 4 aluminum line. It doesn't matter if you are swapping out a 100 amp panel box or executing a massive 200 amp residential service entry upgrade, that the number 6 copper run to your driven rods completely satisfies code compliance. Do not confuse your grounding electrode wired with downstream system bounding conductors, which follow completely separate sizing rules based on your overcurrent protection threshold. Lock that number 6 requirement into your notes right now, and let's head over to the physical display board. So here's the hammer drop to secure a permanent pass on day 1. Verify your mechanical material listing. Cannot land a basic water pipe clamp onto a buried earth connection or direct burial or concrete encasement. Your mechanical connectors must be explicitly stamped with DB logo for direct burial. Wash my hands. Even with an approved heavy bronze clamp, if you torque your screws down over mud, grease, or heavy surface oxidation, you build an insulation blanket that introduce high resistant loops into your ground system. Take an emery cloth, scrap your connection metal down to a mirror shine. Insert your bare wire and torque it down to manufacturer's spec to guarantee a flawless dead path back to your panel bus bar. And that's how you basically ground off your clamp. Number 6, insulated green. Is your grounding electrode. Conductors strictly by the book. Direct burial listing materials. And scrap every single connection surface down to raw metal. Now installing a main service grounding electrode, only one part of industrial systems, infrastructure. If you want to see our advanced forensic workshop where we physically built a display board to tear down OESC, section 10 rules, table 16 sizing, math, and proper surface mechanics for bonding gas lines and water piping systems. Click right over to the live masterclass. Replay box appearing on your mobile smartphone screen right now. Hit subscribe, drop a like. An amazing, safe and amazing day out on the road. And let's keep passing code.